on a business trip a number of years ago. I went to a small town called Perth, Ontario. Had a real hard time finding accommodations there. And I stumbled across a bed and breakfast called the Perth Manor. Now it's been over 15 years since my first trip to the manor, and I can tell you what a great place it is, great hospitality. This year we're going to be going back to the Perth Manor. This time we're taking a group of friends with us, and we're going to spend the weekend there, enjoying the comforts of the manor. Great food, great atmosphere. We're going to be doing some walking of the town, doing some shopping, and just relaxing. But mostly we're going to be doing some great riding through the countryside. So thanks for joining us. And so if you haven't heard about Perth, it's a small town in eastern Ontario on the Tay River, just southwest of Ottawa. It was first established as a military settlement back in 1816 before expanding into the town. The town was the site of one of the last fatal duels in Canada between Robert Lyon and John Wilson after fighting over a woman, Elizabeth Hughes, in 1833. Perth has a lot to offer the travelers today. It has a historic downtown full of shops and eateries like O'Reilly's Ale House. We've been there every single time we visited Perth. We go in and have a few pints and some great food there. They have many parks, waterways, and you can also attend many of the festivals, events throughout the year. If you're wondering who actually won the duel, I'll leave that for you to find out when you visit the Perth Manor. And the home was constructed back in 1878 and was the private residence of a number of families until the early 70s, when it was purchased and converted into a senior's home. In the 90s, the manor again was converted from a senior's home into an inn and restaurant. But by the mid-90s, the restaurant was closed and the manor was downsized into a B&B, or bed and breakfast. In the early 2000s, new owners renovated, restored, and turned the manor into a 6-room boutique hotel. In May of 2011, current owners Gordon and Linda
So
Craig.
again, we're having a great time here at the Perth Manor, right, with Gordon and Linda, right? And listen, just wanted to check in with you guys to see what's new with the what's new with the manor. What what can people expect when they come and check in with you guys?
Yeah, we've got 4 rooms at the front of the house and 2 at the back. We've got the master, what would have been the master bedroom of the house, we use as our bridal suite. And there's got a separate sitting room there, so we have lots of brides here, and they have their entourage of hair and makeup people come in, and bridesmaids all over the place, and photographers. And
If you bring me 6 or 8 people, I'll cook dinner for you.
They'll wonder. Well, we've done this. Talk about our history. That was
Chef
wonderful.
Gordon has given us many good meals here. Yes.
Yeah, just finished 6-course Greek dinner, all Greek food.
Oh wow!
And we did uzitos, like a mojito without ouzo, so we did uzitos. They were yummy.
And we had a bouzouki player come in from Ottawa, so the audience guests all learned about bouzouki playing, the history of it, and so in between courses he played and told stories about Greece and the instrument and the history of it. And so every August we do a dinner like that, themed, and we bring in a musical guest and they play music of that area.
So how many people would have been in attendance that night?
21.
21, eh?
Yeah. The balcony at the Port Rocher all repointed and rebuilt.
Right.
And it's very cool because when the masons were working on the balcony, they turned some of the stones around to clean up some of the mortar and so on, and the masons who built it had inscribed their names
Really?
on the stones. And it's dated 1929.
And it was hidden. Couldn't see it.
Wow!
Right.
Yep. And we actually have a picture that someone dropped us off of their great-grandfather, and she said, I think this is the mason that built the wall, and this is his name. He's all dressed up with a bowler hat and a little poof, and it looked like very much like a dandy.
Yeah.
And his name was one of the ones that was scribed on the stone.
Oh
Really?
wow! That's
Sometimes
amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And I walked through the gardens, they're still looking beautiful, except that we're at the end of August, so a lot of the flowers have gone.
This is the best the gardens looked in the 8 years we've been here.
Right.
We have a new gardener, and she's crazy. So
She's put in some really unique things, and she's
Unique
got the other
plants
stuff under
and-
control.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a tamarisk tree, which is really quite beautiful. It's very feathery and it's got a nice pink, fluffy flower on it. In the 1970s, this was owned by Mrs. Dorenberg, who ran it as a seniors residence, and here with her daughter. And she and her daughter planted this tree, which is very lovely, quite unique for this area. But they planted it a little close to the wall, and as it grew older, it's pushed out against the wall and it broke away the masonry. So it was to cut down the tree or do something about the wall. So much to Gordon's horror, I chose saving the tree. So we had Frank Greer come in from Heritage Masonry. He's done a lot of work on the place here. He does a great job. And he took the wall down stone by stone and laid it out in the pattern, and moved the wall out, put in new footings, put it all back stone by stone in the place where it came from. And so now the tree has gone berserk. It's probably twice the size.
we have a lot of bikers in last night. So everybody drives by the manor and looks to see what's going on. And the number of people who I meet, they say,
Good. Well, I'm certainly glad we washed the bikes before we showed up, so we...
oh, me too.
And we're going to be going for Christmas.
Normally, you would be on this side of the bar,
Normally I
and
would.
we'd be on the outside,
Yep.
right?
It feels strange over here.
It feels... And I feel like we should trade places and have a drink before...
This is where the seat was though.
And so if you're wondering where these other voices are coming from, this is the lovely Lorilei and her sister in life, Caroline.
Hello.
Right? There we go.
We've been coming here for many years. The place is absolutely stunning, beautiful, period perfect, and we've had many lovely breakfasts, many lovely dinners here. Wonderful house.
There's my buddy Rick.
Hi, buddy.
Hello, hello, hello. And now we're gonna walk downtown, grab ourselves a cup of tea, or maybe a butter tart.
You and your butter tarts.
Yes, I do enjoy them. It's the nice thing about coming out to these old...
Carol just
These
texted
old
Ricky
town.
they're still out shopping, so
Are they?
yeah, so we'll catch up to them.
So that was a good ride this morning.
That was a great ride this morning.
Great.
It was a nice little ride this morning.
511 has lots of nice corners and curves and everything else you'd want.
Traffic was good.
Yeah. That's the one thing, right? Once you turn the camera on, a lot of times you don't know what to say. You know? What do you say to the camera once the camera's
Am I
facing
in
you?
the camera?
You're now in the
I'm
camera.
in the camera?
Yes.
Hi, camera. We're walking.
We're-
Here is Dave and Rick walking in Perth.
I know. Homes here, right? Actually, we can walk further down and see a little bit more of the town. Because it shows you all of the old homes and everything.
I'd love to buy this and turn it into a house, eh? This old Presbyterian church.
This must be for the minister,
Yeah, it's for the clergy.
clergy to stay. So our wives are still out shopping. Baker will, law firms. Yeah. We do like our cold beverages after a ride, but we also like a good cup of tea and maybe a butter tart. So let's go in.
Grubhub.
This is an old factory. It's an old mill. They've got all different houses and everything, or little businesses in there.
The chocolate works.
Yeah.
That's great.
See? To Calibogue. It's about an hour ride up the highway, with the best of the road being the last 36 kilometers or at the north end. We stopped at a general store, had some coffee, gassed up for our return ride home. Now, when you find a road like the 511, you gotta ride it a second time, and which we did on the way back. Now, you're probably watching the video here, and you're saying to yourself, well, where's the footage of this fantastic ride? You know, I did take the footage all day long. Well, here's some of the bad things, right? Or the mistakes that happen. So while I was actually editing, today's software, or today's movie, I was switching back and forth, and you can see I've got a nice case, with all of my micro cards, my SD cards, and I picked one up thinking it was another card, put it in the machine, and deleted all of the movies. Well, guess what? That was the 511. So after spending about 2 hours today looking through all different software, trying to recover all of my movies, sad to say, I only got a couple of them back. So the majority of the ride is still needing to be recovered. So that SD card is off to the side, and hopefully one day I find out how to recover that stuff, and when I do, I'll add it back into this video. But a hard lesson learned, going to be a lot more careful with my SD cards the next time I go in to make the movie.